Let me tell you something right now. You will never know what you're capable of until you jump. Comfort zones feel good. They're warm, familiar, and predictable. You wake up, go through the same routine, talk to the same people, think the same thoughts, and avoid anything that might cause discomfort or uncertainty. And that's the trap. That's exactly where most dreams go to die. Not with a loud crash, but in quiet comfort. People confuse comfort with happiness, but comfort doesn't always mean you're happy. It just means you're used to it. You've gotten so used to living below your potential that it feels normal. You might have a dream in your heart, something you think about every day, something that keeps showing up in your imagination, but every time you think about it, that little voice says, it's too risky. So you go back to the safe thing. The familiar thing, the thing that doesn't challenge you, but also doesn't fulfill you. You can't grow in a place that doesn't stretch you. Muscles only grow when they're under tension. Trees grow roots because of the wind. Diamonds form under pressure. So why do we think our purpose is going to be born in ease? The truth is, everything you want, every breakthrough, every dream, every ounce of greatness is on the other side of uncomfortable. And yet we stay stuck, living lives that are fine, not terrible, but not amazing, just fine. That's a dangerous word. Fine is where people hide when they're too scared to admit they want more. Most people aren't stuck because they lack talent or opportunity. They're stuck because they're addicted to safety. You don't take the job, you don't move cities, you don't launch the business, you don't write the book. Not because you can't, but because staying where you are feels safer than finding out who you really are. But here's the cost. Every day you stay in that zone, you teach yourself that your fear is more powerful than your faith. You reinforce the lie that where you are is the best you can do. Let me tell you something real. If you want different, you have to do different. The life you dream about isn't going to be handed to you while you're sitting on the couch watching other people chase theirs. You've got to be willing to feel the fear and do it anyway. You've got to be okay with failing forward. You've got to be willing to be uncomfortable for a season so you can live unstoppable for a lifetime. Nobody ever made history by playing it safe. Nobody ever changed the game from the sidelines. Growth is messy, it's awkward, it's full of uncertainty, but it's also full of power, discovery, and the kind of self-respect that only comes from showing up for yourself. Staying in your comfort zone might keep you from pain, but it also keeps you from purpose. That's the trade most people make without even realizing it. Fear is one of the sneakiest things you'll ever face because it feels so real. It shows up as a pounding in your chest, a knot in your stomach, or a voice in your head telling you, you can't do this, or what if you fail? But here's the truth, fear is not real. It's a trick your mind plays on you, a story your imagination creates to keep you safe from what it thinks is danger. The problem is, most of the time, what your mind calls danger isn't danger at all. It's just opportunity in disguise. Think about it. Fear doesn't have any power until you feed it with your attention. It's like a shadow on the wall, only scary when you believe it's something to be afraid of. Fear makes mountains out of molehills. It convinces you that the leap you're about to take will end in disaster, but what it really is the first sign that you're on the edge of something new, something big. The truth is, every break through you've ever had, every moment you've grown stronger, started with a little fear. The fear didn't stop you from moving forward. It was a sign that you were about to stretch beyond what was comfortable. When you start something new, whether it's a relationship, a business, or a personal goal, fear will show up. It's part of the process, but here's what separates the people who win from the people who quit. The winners feel the fear and do it anyway. They don't wait for the fear to disappear because it never does. Fear is like a shadow that tags along no matter how far you run. The difference is, winners learn how to walk with their fear, not be paralyzed by it. Imagine fear as a warning light on your dashboard. It's telling you to pay attention, to be cautious, but it's not telling you to stop your journey. Too often, we treat fear like a stop sign instead of a caution sign. We freeze when we should be pressing forward. We listen to that little voice of doubt and forget that inside of us, there's a fire burning brighter than any fear could ever be. That fire is your purpose, your passion, your reason for doing what you do. And no fear can put that out if you refuse to let it. The secret is not to get rid of fear, but to recognize it for what it is. A feeling, not a fact. It's your brain trying to keep you safe by telling you to stay where you're comfortable. But comfort doesn't build dreams. Action does. When you face your fear head on, you're telling yourself that your dreams are bigger than your doubts, that your potential is greater than your anxiety. Every time you take a step despite the fear, you weaken its hold on you. You can't wait for fear to leave before you start. Fear will always be there when you're about to do something worthwhile. It's the proof that you're alive and stretching your limits. So instead of running from it, invite it in, acknowledge it, then move past it. Because on the other side of fear is everything you want. You can't win if you don't play. It sounds simple, but it's a truth that so many people overlook because they're scared. They want success, they want happiness, they want fulfillment, but they're not willing to take the risk it requires. They stand on the sidelines, watching other people go after their dreams, and they tell themselves it's safer not to try. But here's the thing, playing it safe may keep you from failing, but it also keeps you from flying. Life isn't a practice round, you only get one shot at it. So if you're sitting out because you're afraid of making mistakes, you're missing the whole point. The only way you find out what you're truly capable of is by stepping into the game, by taking a chance, by risking failure. That's how you discover your gift. That's how you find the thing that sets your soul on fire. When you don't play, you give up on your potential, you give up on the possibility of greatness. It's like having a treasure map but refusing to go on the journey because you're scared of the obstacles along the way. You might stumble, you might get lost, but you'll never find the treasure if you don't start the adventure. The fear of losing or failing stops most people from even trying, but the biggest loss is never trying at all. Because failure isn't the opposite of success, it's part of success. Every winner has a story of falling down, making mistakes, and being told no. But they kept playing. They got back up and tried again and again and again. That persistence is what separates those who achieve their dreams from those who only dream about them. Playing it safe feels comfortable, but comfort won't take you where you want to go. It won't push you to grow, to learn, to innovate. When you risk, you learn more about yourself and your abilities than any classroom or book could teach you. Taking a chance forces you to get creative, to develop resilience, to tap into a strength you didn't even know you had. If you wait for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, or the perfect approval, you might wait forever. There is no perfect time to take a chance. Life is messy, uncertain, and unpredictable. But that's also where the magic happens. You have to be willing to be uncomfortable, to risk embarrassment or rejection, to get your heart broken or your plans derailed, because that's how you grow. And here's the beautiful part. When you finally take that leap, you might surprise yourself. You might discover a talent, a passion, or a purpose that changes everything. You might meet people who open doors you didn't even know existed. You might create a life that feels more like your own instead of living someone else's idea of what you should do. So don't wait. Don't sit on the bench hoping for an invitation. You have to get in the game. You have to play, because the only way to win is to show up, to try, and to take a chance. You can't win if you don't play. Your dream doesn't have an expiration date. You've probably heard people say things like, you're too old to start, or you missed your chance, or you don't have the right experience. But those are just excuses, stories we tell ourselves when we're afraid to move forward. The truth is, it doesn't matter how old you are, where you come from, or what you've done in the past. What matters is what you do right now. The clock hasn't run out on you. Your opportunity is still waiting, and your dream is still alive. Too many people get caught up thinking that there's a timeline they have to follow. They believe success only comes if it happens by a certain age, or after a certain number of years in a job, or once they check off some invisible box on society's list. But life doesn't work like that. Life is not a race against time. It's a journey that moves at its own pace, and every person's path is unique. Think about the greatest stories of success. You'll find that many of them didn't come early or easy. Some of the most famous people in history started late. They were told they were too old or too inexperienced, but they didn't let those voices stop them. They kept pushing, learning, growing, and showing up until their moment came. And when it did, they took it. Their dreams didn't expire just because the world tried to put a limit on them. Maybe you're looking at your life and thinking, I'm too old to go back to school, or I don't have the skills to start that business, or I've made too many mistakes to try again. But those thoughts are not facts. They are fear dressed up as doubt. Fear will always try to convince you that you're not enough, that it's too late, that you don't belong. But fear lies. The only thing that might be holding you back is your own fear, and that's something you can change. You have time, you have potential, you have everything inside you to take the next step. The key is to stop listening to the voices that tell you to give up and start listening to the voice inside that whispers, try one more time. Your dream doesn't care about your age or your past. It cares about your willingness to keep going. When you realize your dream doesn't have an expiration date, it frees you. It frees you from comparing yourself to others, from feeling like you've missed out, and from giving up before you even begin. It reminds you that your journey is yours alone, and it's never too late to begin again, to pivot, or to chase what sets your heart on fire. So don't let the fear of too late stop you. You're not too late. You're not too old. You're not underqualified. The only thing you might be is too scared. And that's fixable. You can change that today by deciding to move forward, no matter what. Your dream is still waiting, and your time is now. Rejection ain't the end. I want you to really hear that. When you face a no, when a door slams shut in your face, it's easy to feel defeated, like the world is against you, or that you're just not good enough. But that's the lie. Rejection isn't the final chapter. It's just a plot twist. It's a redirection, a course correction that's leading you somewhere better, even if you can't see it right now. Every successful person has been rejected more times than they can count. They've heard no from family, from friends, from bosses, from clients. They've had ideas shut down, dreams dismissed, and opportunities taken away. But here's what separates those who win from those who quit. The winners understand that rejection is part of the journey, not the end of it. They don't give up when the answer is no. They get creative, they adjust, they push harder. See, every no you get is not a sign of failure. It's a sign that you're trying. It means you've put yourself out there, and that takes courage. Rejection can feel like a punch in the gut, but it's really just the universe saying, not this way, not right now. It's a signal that you need to keep moving, keep growing, and keep looking for the door that will open wide for you. Think about it this way. If every no was a dead end, then why are some people still standing strong after dozens, even hundreds of rejections? Because those no's made them stronger. They made them better. They forced them to rethink their approach and refine their vision. Each rejection helped them get clearer on what they wanted and what they were willing to fight for. Rejection can be painful, but it's also a teacher. It teaches resilience, patience, and persistence. It pushes you to develop thick skin and a heart that refuses to quit. It teaches you to listen, to learn, and to adapt. Instead of breaking you, it builds you, if you let it. And here's the beautiful part. Sometimes a no is actually a blessing in disguise. It might close a door so that a better one can open. It might push you away from a path that wasn't really meant for you and towards something greater. What feels like rejection today could be the redirection that leads to your breakthrough tomorrow. So don't take rejection personally. Don't let it define your worth or your potential. Every no you face puts you one step closer to the yes that changes your life. That yes might come from a place you never expected or at a time you never planned, but it's coming as long as you keep going. Rejection isn't the end, it's part of the process. It's proof that you're on your way. You just have to keep moving forward, keep believing, and keep showing up. Because on the other side of every no is a new chance to say yes to the life you were meant to live. God didn't give you a dream for decoration. That little spark inside you, the passion, the vision, the hope, that's not just some random thought or wish. It's on purpose. It was placed there for a reason. It's the blueprint of your purpose, the heartbeat of your calling. And it's not meant to sit on a shelf collecting dust or to be hidden away in the back of your mind while you live someone else's version of life. No, that dream was given to you to be lived, to be chased, to be honored with every ounce of your effort and faith. Sometimes we treat our dreams like trophies we keep locked up. We're afraid to touch them because we worry they might break or that we might fail if we try. But dreams are not meant to be ornaments. They are meant to be action plans. They are meant to push you, challenge you, and sometimes even scare you. Because when you take a chance on your dream, you step into the fullness of who you are supposed to be. You start living on purpose, and that's when life starts to shift. You have to understand that that dream inside your heart is sacred. It's a gift from a higher power that believes in you even when you don't believe in yourself. And that means it's more than just a wish. It's a responsibility. It's a calling that demands your attention, your courage, and your willingness to take risks. Honoring that dream means showing up every day, even when it's hard, even when the odds feel stacked against you. Even when people doubt you or say it's impossible, taking a chance on your dream isn't just about chasing success or recognition. It's about fulfilling the purpose you were created for. It's about becoming the person you were meant to be. When you ignore your dream, you're not just missing out on what you could achieve. You're also denying the world of what only you can offer. Your gifts, your voice, your story, they all matter. They all have power. And when you finally step out and take that chance, you inspire others to do the same. You might be scared. You might have doubts. You might worry about failing. But that fear is normal. It means you're stepping out of the familiar and into the unknown. And that's where growth happens. That's where faith kicks in. The only way to honor the dream God gave you is to believe in it enough to take action. To risk everything on something that only you can bring to life. So don't let that dream be a decoration. Don't let it gather dust while you play it safe. It's a call to courage, a call to action, a call to faith. When you take a chance on your dream, you're not just changing your life. You're stepping into the purpose that was always meant for you. And that, my friend, is how you honor the gift you were given.